channel. My name is Selene. Sorry it's been so long since I last filmed or posted or anything. I checked, it was August 2024 when I last posted. It is now March 2026. Oops, it's been so, I was like, oh, what projects was I talking about in that video? Maybe I can update you. It's been so long that they are all like done and dusted and I am like fully onto new things. Oops. So it's kind of like a restart, new, but I'll just call this podcast number 2. And that also originally was called a crochet podcast, and I have since learned to knit. I still crochet, but I've also learned to knit. So I was like, oopsies. I'm also in a new location. Not surprising. However, I have actually moved to a different country, not just a house, different country. I'm in Canada at the moment. You might be able to see out the window. It is snowing right now. If I can put in a video of the weather, I shall. We'll see. So yeah, we're just gonna go through this kind of like in a traditional podcast way. First one is the one I'm wearing. It's my first and only knit sweater I've made. This is the step-by-step sweater by Florence Mills, and I will put a picture if I can. Put out like a full body picture if I can. I'm not bothered to get up. I'm lazy. And I used the Lion brand Mandala yarn in the shade Zen. I was going to use a different yarn for this pattern, but this pattern called for a worsted weight and that was a DK, and I was like, oopsies, I'm not being engaged, blah blah blah. And I used like 6mm needles for this, and it was my first, I knit hats before, it was my first like garment that I ever made. And yeah, and then I made it, and then I steamed the heck out of it because the neck, like the turtleneck, was like way too tight when I originally did it, and so now it kind of like, the ribbing comes all the way out here and like then sits up. I think if I did it again, I'd probably do like a folded collar or even just a shorter rib piece. It's cute because it's acrylic. It's actually not very warm, but it is cute, so I don't mind. But you guys just see like how huge it is. So it's very oversized. It's very comfy. I did an Italian bind off for the cuffs and the bottom hem. I'm crazy. But yeah, it's cute. I'm very happy with it. I get compliments on it, so I'm like, yay. And so yeah, it's the yarn self stripes, so it created stripes, and obviously then the sleeves have a lot wider stripes, but that's fine. I don't mind. I think it's cute. That's one. Next, in terms of like timeline finish that I have, again, I'm in Canada, so I could not bring my entire yarn stashed with me, nor could I bring like all of my finished objects with me. So one of the few that I did were all kind of like winter themed, crazy. So this is a scarf that I knit, that I accidentally messed up the pattern on. So I think it was meant to be all of these little kind of knits and purl stitches, and then accidentally, is this on the start? This one, I'd accidentally messed it up, yeah, here, and then I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cute to do like shorts, 5 shorts, and then, yeah, 5 shorts, and then 2 rows of long, so it's 5 shorts, 2 long, 5, all the way here. This is meant to be a cowl, and you're meant to use like 3 skeins of yarn, and I only had 2 of this yarn. This is hand dyed, and so I just made it. But I think if I had thought about it, I would have actually made this smaller, like narrower. That's the word. I would have made it narrower than how wide it is, because it's obviously meant to be for a cowl. It's fine because I don't actually wear it, because yeah, if I made it narrower, then I could actually, see, it only kind of goes down to below my boobs. Like I could actually probably like do this, but I don't like the feeling of things really close to my neck. I don't love like a turtleneck, So I actually really like wearing this inside a big jacket. Like, I'm in a ski resort where I'm wearing a ski jacket or like a big coat, so I'm wearing it just literally just like this, and then it gets caught up in my jacket. I have my jacket over the top so it stays toasty warm. It's kind of wide enough to go over my head, but I don't wear it like that. Anyway, so that's this. This is yes, the Leah scarf. The pattern I think is from Hobie. It's actually a free Hobie pattern. And it is in Skip Rope, Divine DK, Purple Holy. I'll put it in the description because I'm going to forget. I'm going to put everything in the description, all the patterns, all the yarns, that kind of thing. Ta-da! It's very cute. I'm very happy with it. And it's purple, and I love purple, so yeah. Next, in terms of what I made that I have with me again, is the Pearl Soho Arch Gusset mittens that I made. I had originally made a pair of mittens that I had gifted to a friend, and I was like, well, I'm going to use that pattern and use up this yarn that I have that I made when I made my mum a pair of crochet fingerless gloves into a pair of, it's kind of hard to show you because these are dark, this is a dark yarn. Ta-da! So it's this Arch Gusset mitten. Fingerless glove, sorry. Fingerless gloves, they are pretty good, especially if I have to, like, I have a car here, and I kind of, anyway. Ha! Maybe I shouldn't show that one. Oh well. You can see the snow and, like, the tree in the window, so it's cute. Yep, I made those, and then this was the project I started when I was at home and then finished when I got here. This is an Oslo hat by Patonyle. Ta-da! Just a double folded brim. And this is using Lichen and Lace Marsh Mohair in the shade Sugar Plum. And I bought that last time I was in Canada, beginning of 2025. And I was like, okay, I need to find a yarn to go with it. And I had originally bought a yarn that I have here with me. And I was like, oh, it is not the right colour. And then I had on the search and I found the Concept by Katia Silky Lace. Don't ask me the shade name, I don't remember. I shall put it in the description. Hopefully on the screens up to match. And the Mohair was actually a little bit warmer. That's alright, it was a little bit warmer than the like purpley mauvey kind of colour that is the Silky Lace. But I was like, I actually don't mind that. To make it a little bit cooler toned of a purple. Anyway, so it creates. And then, and I also, so I did do some adjustments to this. Wait, can I turn it? You can kind of see. You cannot see because I'm too tall. You cannot see. You cannot see it. Anyway, I actually did make some adjustments. So this pattern for that, like the hat pattern, was quite tall and pointy, and I didn't want that. So I actually took out a couple centimeters in the body, so that I could get it to fit, to be the height I want. So I have room, it has a little bit of height, but I also have room to kind of like pull it even further down if I need to. I also made the adult medium, but I didn't gauge swatch, so it's slightly tight. I think my gauge is a bit tight, but that's alright, I don't care. It's just a hat. Then I saw someone talking about like, oh, because it's stockinette, it's not as stretchy as like if you did the like weekend hat, which is like ribbing and then stockinette, or ribbing, but like at least a rib brim and then stockinette, like the bit that's meant to be the most stretchy. I was like, I'll keep that in mind if I ever, like, I don't know if I'll make another one. Even though this is so warm and so soft. And those two yarns, it's like a merino silk blend, silky lace, and then mohair silk blend. So it's merino, silk, and mohair, and it's so soft. And it's very pretty, and I made it, so I'm happy. And I bought, the thing is, I had that skein of mohair, just the one, and then I bought 2 balls of the silky lace. I only used one. I thought this was going to take 2. I only use one. So that means I was like, oh, that means I only use like half of the Mohair as well. Mohair, why am I saying that so weird? The Mohair as well. So I'm like, do I make another hat out of it? I don't know. I could make another hat. Not this hat, like a different hat. Might be cool. Using a fingering a, might be like, yeah, cool. I could do a rib hat style. Cause I don't know what to do with that yarn otherwise. You know what I mean? Anyway, so there are 4 finished projects: sweater, scarf, mittens, and hat. Actually, I do have a 5th finished project. I made my friend, he bought this yarn, and I crocheted him a beanie as well, a green beanie, so he has that, so I don't have it. But I did make that here. And then I also made, that's also true, his mum was visiting, so then he bought the yarn and I made his mum a crochet beanie and a crochet scarf. I did also make that. Did not take photos, I forgot to take photos, but I did make that. So let's talk about my finished objects. So let's talk about whips. Okay, so whips. I have one of my long-term whips at the moment. I have with me. It is a blanket whip. It is a baby blanket. And it's the baby blanket I started in like 2023 for the eventuality of when my sister was going to be pregnant. Guess who's pregnant? So I have to finish this blanket. I knew before I came that she was pregnant, so that's why I brought it with me. If I didn't know, I'd be fucked. But it's fine. So I've made good progress. Unfortunately, I decided to change my entire plan because my plan was to actually originally make a like full-size, like human-sized blanket, not baby, with hexagons. This big blanket. So yeah, using these hexagons to make a full-size baby blanket. I have curbed that idea, and then I also have changed the design of them. Well, I say the design, just how I make them. So I've had to go through and remake all of them. This bag. And then to separate the ones I had done, I put all the ones I had done in this plastic bag. So very excitingly, I've got all the solid ones done. Coloured ones done, because I also have to do white ones, and then I have the coloured inside one, so that's yellow, is this one purple, and green, done. I have 2 lots of the white done, and I'm up to my 3rd lot of white, because my original plan was it was a gradient, and what I wanted it to be was like white, yeah, like white, and then purple inside, and then solid purple, and then like just purple, but then I have the green ones out, and then green, like coloured outside white, and then white again. And I decided to swap it around and to have just the like the whites with the coloured insides. So I've had to dismantle all these with the coloured outside and then reuse the inside. So I have the insides of these white ones, which were the yellow ones. Now I'm doing the green. So what happened was, as well, is at one point I had already started making the 2nd lot of white inside, green inside whites, whereas I hadn't for the other colours, so that's why this one's last, because I used the outside yarn to make the insides. Whole thing. So it's gonna be, yeah, I'll see if I kind of have a photo. It's gonna be white. So yeah, white, coloured inside solid, coloured inside white, coloured inside solid, coloured. How many rows is that? So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 13 rows, and a 13 long, the 13 hexagons. And then I've got to, as you can see, I've got to weave in all the ends. And then I have to weave in, yeah, all the ends, and then I have to weave them, sew them together. And because I've had to remake them, I went down a hook size. So I have a ton of like excess yarn from the outsides. So what I'm actually going to do is use that yarn to sew them together. Big brain moment. Because this is also my last skein of white that I have with me. And I've already started using it. This is the yarn I'm using. Bella Baby Wonder Full Ply. Just from Spotlight. I don't even know if they sell this anymore, but I bought a big bag of it in 2023. And I still have skeins of it at home, I just don't have them here. But I go home and then like I go home end of April and I land like midweek. And then that weekend is the baby shower, which is when I'm planning on giving her the baby blanket. So I have like 2 days when I'm home to finish the blanket if I haven't. Because I want to sew it all together and then do a border of like some crochets of like white and then a colour, white, colour, white. So I have like white and then the purple and then green and then yellow stripes on the outside with white. So I don't know if I'll have enough yarn. We'll find out. Anyway, so that's that project. I am slowly working on it. I said March was going to be, I'm only going to work on this project. Hasn't happened. I've worked on all 4 of my whips that I have here. Yippies! So, yeah. And I'm not going to block those hexagons. I know I should, but I am not going to because I do not have the time. But I do have a ton of time to make everything. I just want to, I want to finish all the hexagons before the end of March. It is the 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Scary. We get 2 this year, at least. Because we have one in Feb and then one in March. Yeah, so that whip's been going on. Second whip. Knitting whip. So originally I was going to be knitting the Wave Sweater by Spectral's Strick. I was like, what's the word for knitting in German? Spectral's, I can't say it. Anyway, for my friend for his birthday / Christmas, and then I made the yoke with the colour work, and he was like, I don't love it, and I was like, well, okay, and he's like, I don't love it, don't want it, you use the yarn, like, you bought the yarn, well, I just whatever you use it. So I was like, great, I'll just go on to the next project I had, and I had 2 options. Was either the balloon cardigan by Teal or the Raoul sweater from Hobie. I don't remember the actual name of the designer, unfortunately. And I already knew I already had a swatch of the yarn I was going to use for the cardigan, and hadn't swatched the real cardigan, so I was like, the real sweater, so I was like, let me just start on this cardigan. So I started on the cardigan. Anyway, that's me trying to keep it in the yarn. And I'm up to, where is it? There's a ramp. I have slit for sleeves and done like 1 row after the sleeve split. So I have slit for sleeves and I like tried it on, and it's awesome. The thing is, this cardigan, the size range, abysmal. It's like a extra small to an extra large. The extra large is like technically fits me, but I wanted more ease in this sweater. It's so cute, I'm so excited. So I've actually been slightly adjusting the sizing. So I followed the extra large instructions for the neckband, and then I picked up 2 extra stitches for, I thought I had picked up 4 extra stitches, but maybe I hadn't, and put them on the front and the 1 on each of the front panels and then 2 on the back, and left the sleeves the same. I don't remember what I did. Something like that. I did only 2 for the 2 front sleeve panels, or 4 for the plus 2 at the back. And then I also worked 2 extra increase rounds, and then I tried it on to see how it fit. Perfect. Great. This is going to be oversized. This is what I wanted. The other thing is, this, my gauge, when I've knit this, my gauge, this is the back, might be easier to hold this way. My gauge, so the gauge they want is 21 stitches by 29 rows, and my gauge is 26 stitches by 34 rows, so 5 stitches of rows in the wrong direction. However, this design, the photos that Petite Knit has up on, is like a looser looking gauge, and this yarn, like, so stretchy. And so I just like stretched it, and I was like, yeah, looks good. Measured it, perfect. 21 stitches. And then again, I was like, and I was like, actually, I don't think I did this, but I was like, oh yeah, that's stretchy. I was like, the row gauge is fine because I can just try it on and see what it's like. So this has not been blocked yet. But when I already put it on, it was already like meeting in the middle and like meeting under the arms. So I was like, with the 2 extra increased rounds, I was like, cool, I don't need to do anything else. And then you also increased it, you added stitches for the underarms. I was like, and then every size you is 6 underarm stitches, and I was like, maybe I'll do more, and I was like, 6 is probably enough. And I think I also messed up on one side and there's only 5, so oops, that's fine. If I have to pick up an extra stitch like in between, like if I have to pick up an extra stitch, I can do that, it's fine. Anyway, look how cute this is. This yarn is the Abbey Road The Wind Cries Merino in the shade Purple Haze, which is from Spotlight, which is from Spotlight. They had at one point a like 50% off yarn sale, so I bought 10 balls, and I was like, oh, 10's actually not enough to make, kind of like not enough for my size to make something, so then I bought 4 more balls. So I had 14 altogether. And then I also have this yarn in the Castles Made of Sand, or Sand Castle shade, but I only have 6 of that. So that, I don't know what I'm going to do with. That, if I have any of this left over, I kind of want to use that plus this and make like stripes. Use this as like a stripe in like a vest, I'm thinking. Really cozy and warm, because this is so soft and fluffy. This is like so soft. This is so, I put it on, I was like, oh, it's so soft and warm. I'm so excited. Because it's merino, baby alpaca, and then microfiber polyamide, 10% microfiber polyamide, and it's a chainette yarn, so I assume the microfiber is like polyamide is to make the chain, and the merino and the is to, and the alpaca blah blah, make it all like nice and fluffy and soft. But yeah, so now I'm up to the body, which is again just back and forth, and then the sleeves are going to be in the round, which is nice, and it's balloon cardigan, which means you do not decrease until the cuff. And I was like, that's kind of nice. And I'm using 4mm needles, yeah, because then I had done a gauge swatch for the Monday sweater by Petite Knit, and this yarn, yeah, it was just 2, like for an 8-ply gauge, which is what it was meant to be. That, this is just too kind of airy and gapey, where it's like not as dense as I wanted it for that sweater. Whereas then I found this pattern, and I was like, this pattern like has that kind of like loose gauge kind of look, which is what I wanted for this. Yeah, so I'm up to the body, and I think it's 2 centimeters before the first button. I have to knit 2 centimeters before the next buttonhole. So I also have my buttons already picked out for this, which is exciting. I think they're, the button, I think she said 2 to 2.5 centimeters. I think it's around 18 centimeters, 1.8 centimeters, 18mm. But they're so cute. Look at them. Look at these buttons. They're so cute. And they're on a toggle. Like, is toggle the right word? How do I show you? They've got a, they're not flat on the bottom. They've got, yeah, a little section for you to put your yarn in, and they stick out. So, and I think, just like, guys, just imagine. Like, look how cute they're gonna look. Oh, if I can get the, this is, you do an increase next to the button band for a certain period of time. So that's what those are. I'm gonna take those out now. I've done that. And I'm gonna put stitch markers for the button holes. They're just so cute. I love textures. This only uses 3 buttons, so I'll have 2 left over, which is going to be cute. I can keep them for something else, because I think they're so cute. And they were $5. Love that for me. At the Bendigo Sheep and Wool show. That's whip number 2. And then whip number 3, I don't remember which one I started. No, I think I technically started this one first. So this is whip number 3. And it is a sock. Look, it's a sock. It's not. I haven't blocked this, as you can see. I don't have sock blockers So my blocking is just gonna have to be like wetting it and kind of like smooshing it out. Ta-da! It's a sock. I don't even know if these fit. They're like, you gotta, how, I was like, I don't know how long to make it. I'm gonna have to like measure how many rows I did. So this is the vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars. Because I tried magic loop and I just wasn't enjoying it. So I tried 9-inch circulars and I'm definitely liking this a bit, like a lot more. And then for the heel, this is, you use the heel section, you use double pointed needles, and then they're like, oh, and then use magic loop for the toe. And I was like, well, I don't want to have to get that third thing out. So I was like, let me just double point needle toe as well. And then I Kitchener stitched it together. I saw a video on how to do this. Very easy. So easy. It's like an Italian bind-off style. I like a video how to do it. So easy. So that was nice. Anyway, so that's a sock. And I haven't started the second one yet because what happened was I was doing my balloon cardigan and then started doing the sock and then just did the entire sock. Like I'd done like 2 rows of ribbing, I think, and then just did the entire sock. I even weaved on my ends of this. And I was like, okay, now I'm gonna go do my balloon cardigan, and then when I get to splitting for the sleeves, I'll start the next sock. But then it was like the end of Feb, and I was like, okay, no, I want to. I was like, okay, no, I want to work on my blanket because that is important. And then one day I did like 6 hexagons, so I was like, okay, I can do some other stuff as well. So yeah, so I need to, I think I do need to cast on the second sock just to have it, I think. Just to have it like started, like do like 2 rows of ribbing or whatever and just have it ready to go, because I'm thinking of bringing this home with me and like doing it on the plane and stuff at the end of April. I'm so excited. Well, I'm trying to guess this is more than 60 stitches, can't I? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so yarn I'm using for this is, I chucked the other one, I dropped it somewhere. This is the Walk Tough Sock in Gaia, mini in Gaia, which is this beautiful brown. And I actually have 2 minis of this. One at home, one here. And then this is the, with the needle sticking out of it. This is the Xiaogu 9-inch circulars in 2.25mm. And I bought from my local yarn store because I was like, oh, I've seen people talk about doing the 9-inch circulars. I don't know if I'd like it. And then, blah, blah. And then she was like, oh, and I was like, she was like, oh, you know, like some people do, like, depends really, can't really just depend on the person. I was like, you know what, let me just buy one. At the time I had money. So let me just buy one. I can try it, I can use it, I can see how I like. I really like it. Now, if I was doing like for a vanilla sock, or like I think if I was doing like a rib sock, or even maybe a lace, depending on lace technique, 9-inch sock is probably good. I haven't done a full double pointed needle sock. I need to try that at some point. And again, I tried magic loop and I didn't like it, but that might just be for ribbing. Like if I did ribbing on a 9-inch circular and then changed to magic loop, it might be better. We'll see. Anyway, so this yarn, it's so pretty. This is the, so I bought this in Amsterdam. I bought this in Amsterdam. Very cute. And then I actually bought this in Melbourne. So I'm not from Melbourne. The Patons, Patonyle, Artistry. And this is the neutral mix shade. Because I was like, I kind of want something that I don't care if I don't do a very good job on. Even though this was not cheap to make it. It was cute. So, but I've made one. I'm excited to make the next one. I flew through it. I could see myself becoming a sock knitter. And there's so many beautiful sock yarns. And I also want to learn to dye my own yarn. Just imagine dyeing my own yarn to make my own socks. Very, very appealing to me. Anyway, so that's whip. So I have half of that done. So that's whip number 3. And then whip number 4 is actually on this side of me. I bought this yarn here, did not bring it with me. I bought it here because I wanted something to spruce up my room. So I'm making a tapestry for my walls. This is what I've got so far. You see this side is a bit flatter than the other side, as I have a hot water bottle and I accidentally sat it on this side of the project. So it's like flat here. Except for the next couple of rows that I've done. I'll see if I can put a picture in of what the actual tapestry is meant to look like when it's done. But it's the botanical, it's inspired by Matisse, the artist, botanical wall hanger. So I have to finish this and then buy a dowel for it, and then I can hang it up in my room, which would be good. And I'm using the Line Brands Made with Love, the Cottony one, which is cotton and, what is it? 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, which I thought for a tapestry was good. I was like, so these are the colours. I have Lychee white and olive twist. So it's, as you can see, green and white, which is the colours of the tapestry. And I was like, maybe I'll do a different colour. And then I saw these and I was like, nope, these are cute. And it said to buy 1 of the green, or the main colour, and then 2 of the contrast colour. But I feel like I'm using, I don't know. Maybe when it gets to the top section of the flowers, we use a lot more white. You just save a lot of green. At the moment, like, it's still being carried back and forth. But it's not being used, so you kind of save yarn doing that. Anyway, so this is what the back of it looks like at the moment. So at the start, obviously, there's not a lot of white. Like, here's only a bit, there's only a bit, and then you get big sections. So I would have been, instead of crocheting it inside, I have just been carrying the yarn, and then every so often doing a hiding it behind. But I think I'm going to get some felt as well, and felt the back of it. Like, I'm going to steam block this, and then I'm going to felt the glue felt to the back, and then I'm going to add a down, I think is what I'm going to do for this one. And then hang it up in my room, which I think will be very cute. So that's also whip. The only thing about this whip is I cannot like take this places because I still have to look at the chart and the instructions for this, because every row obviously is different. So yeah, that's fun. That's all my whips. Whoa, that's 4. I've got 4 going. I was gonna try and be good. 4 is actually pretty good. I have like 3 hibernating ones because they're at home. I didn't bring them with me. So when I go home for like 3 weeks, maybe I'll just try and bust those out and like not have any whips at home. We'll see. We'll see how busy I am or whatever. So yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble for so long, just about my thoughts and feelings on what I want to make. I have so much that I want to make. I go back to Australia end of April for a couple weeks. So I've got to get stuff done, get things prepared to come back, and then I'm here for about a year. Back in Canada for about a year. Yeah. So I'm trying not to buy any yarn unless I have a project in mind. I really want to go to in the, what is it called? The Yarn Festival, Fiber Flock Festival in Seattle. I'd love to go, but I also don't really want to go to the US. Being Canada is like close enough, you know what I mean? I don't really want to go to the US, like, at all. So sorry, but I really would love to go to Flock Fiber Festival. Like, if anything happens in between now and then, and I am able to go, I will go. Like, I will go. I don't even care. So yeah, that's, yeah, so and I have huge plans, like a whole cardigan, a whole vest, a whole sweater, a whole t-shirt, and then socks and stuff. So yeah, if I finish all that yarn, I'll be happy. If I finish all those projects, I'll be very happy. Am I going to be able to bring it all home? We'll find out. I don't know how much room I'm going to have coming home. Might have to ditch some stuff, you know, so yeah, again, thanks for letting me ramble. This was lots of fun. It's like lunchtime now, so I'm gonna go eat something. Please compliment me on my sweater. Hopefully I can get all these freaking pictures in. We'll find out. And I have to go edit this entire video. Okay, bye!